Hi guys, in this video you'll discover how to customize filters on the collection pages and search results. The examples of custom filters you can view on our demo. The first demo illustrates filters as color items instead of checkboxes and presents size filter items as fields. Meanwhile, the second demo store is modified to display brand images integrated into the theme rather than a standard list. For customizing filters, we utilized metafields and metaobjects. The approach of creating custom filters mirrors the method of adding new data to your store. So let's delve into the step-by-step process. First, create a unique metaobject definition in your Shopify admin settings custom data. We need to build two metaobject definitions, each one per filter tab. We've added the definition for the color for filter earlier and just check the settings now. The definition is named color for filter with the type generated automatically based on the title. Within this definition we've included two fields. The first field serves as the displayed name of the entry and its key comprises the field type plus name. Let's open the field settings to view them closely. In the open dashboard, you can see the name input to assign a title, the key part and a checkbox to designate the field as the displayed name. The used field type is single-line text with one value. There is little more to include here, thus feel free to save the settings. The second field is dedicated to containing hex codes for colors. Its type is set as color with one value option. Remember to save the settings after making changes. To populate the fields with data, generate metaobject entries. Go to Content and access metaobjects. Create entries based on the specified metaobject definition like color for filter. In the heading, type the associated color name. Input the color either by selecting it from the paint palette or pasting the corresponding hex code of the color. Similarly, include entries by defining display names and using the color settings under the color for filter. All the undertaken actions contribute towards the establishment and retention of new data. Connecting entries with products requires the use of metafields. Create a metafield by navigating to metafields from the search results. Enter the keyword into the search bar, then choose metafields from the search results to access the required page. Then go to products. The metafield is titled Filter Color with the custom .filter_color identifier. Its type is specified as a metaobject referencing color for filter with a list of value options. It's essential to link entries with products using metafields to ensure the proper functionality of filter items. These entries will serve as product tags during filtering. To accomplish this, navigate to the products and select a specific product. Then add the required entries to the corresponding metafield. Finally, to showcase the created filter on the storefront, integrate it into the list of filters using the Shopify Search and Discovery app. Open the app within your admin, followed by choosing the Filters tab. Here you will select the filter from the list to view its settings. In the Source drop-down, specify the filter color metafield. Provide the title for the metafield in the Label field, which will be visible on the storefront. Choose the desired behavior for the filters from the available options. Read more about the filter logic by pressing the link redirection. Set the display type to swatch. Ensure to save the settings when you are ready. Let's now observe its functionality on the storefront. You see the filter items display as colors. Moving forward, we will replicate the same steps to add custom images instead of simple filter items. So the second definition we will add together for better clarity. Go back to the admin and press the Add Definition button under the Custom Data Meta Objects. Create a new definition titled Image for Filter and add fields within it. The first field type will be the single line text labeled as heading and the one value option to display content. Designate this field as the display name and save the settings. Next, add another field with the file type to display images as filter items. Title the field and ensure the one file option is selected. Determine that it accepts specific file types such as images and apply the settings. At this point, we're set to produce meta-object entries within the admin's content tab. Click on the Add Entry button to generate entries based on the specified meta-object definitions such as the image for filter. Proceed to configure the content by defining the entry's display name. To set an image, press the Select Image button. Once the content is added, save the settings. We'll add 3 more entries for the displayed filter items. Here they are. Now let's add the meta field. Navigate to the page through the top search bar. From here select Products and then click Add Definition, which will prompt the dashboard to open. Then create the metafield definition with the following parameters. Title the definition as Filter Image. The namespace and key will be auto-generated by the system, so we will leave it as it is. Use the type metaObject with the image for filter reference. Then define the number of entries used for the metafield. Set up as a list of entries per product. Proceed with the configurations by linking metaObject entries with the products using metafields. Go to Products and select a specific product. Then incorporate with the filter tags from the entries. Similarly, apply tags to the relevant products that require filtering. To complete settings in the admin, open the Shopify Search and Discovery app as shown previously and add the filter to the list. Access the app from your admin, then select Filters and click Add Filter. Specify the metafield definition as the source and title the filter if necessary. In our case, it will be the filter image with the display name of brand on the storefront. Determine the filter's logic and display type. Then save the settings to activate the filter on the storefront. To finalize the setup of custom filters, access the theme editor. In the online store, click on Customize under the corresponding theme and navigate to the collection page. The filters will be displayed on collection pages with the configured filtering in the product grid section. You may now notice the brand filter in the sidebar. To apply additional settings to this filter type, operate the global section. In the side menu, press Theme Settings, then select the Filters tab section. Here you can change the number of filters per row by choosing different grid options. Additionally, determine the appearance of the items to show as only images or images with text. Use the corresponding option from the image text picker to make your selection. Moreover, the current global section includes the tabs input to display filters as fields. You can simply type the filter title in the field to apply changes. To customize multiple filters, use commas to separate filter titles. However, ensure to avoid additional spaces. These are all settings to customize filters in the theme. Thanks for joining us and good luck with the store configurations.